Hi, I'm going to be focusing on you instead of here because I don't think this is going to take. But anyway, when I read my words, I'll be using this side of my face. And when I use the Muslims, I'll be using that side, plus doing a mock Arabic accent. Okay. Yeah. I want to tell you something. Well, this series is called, Sunan Abu Dawud 22150 in the spotlight here. Now I'll do the spotlight again. I guess I'll be doing in the spotlight again because I think I'll put this on Nell Yesmar. But anyway, I want to tell you something. The Muslim I've been talking, I have a feeling that the Muslim today found himself in a black cat moment. I don't know if you know anything about the Black Cat, but it was written by, it's a short story written by Edgar Allan Poe about a guy who murders his wife with an axe, and then walls are up in a wall, bricks, walls are up at the body to hide the evidence, and the police come over, and he thinks there's no way they're going to find the body hidden, But for some stupid reason, he takes a cane and talks about how the wall is, really sturdy. He hits it with this cane, and it causes this cat that he accidentally walled up in the wall to go meow. And then they, oh, there's a cat behind there. And they tear the thing down, and they find the body. And I think that's what happened today, because what happened was this Muslim told me to, he told me to go to Sunan Abu Dawud, to go to Sunan.com, and he was trying to say that Sunan Abu Dawud 22150 that talks about Muslims able to have sex or intercourse, well, rape actually, because I don't see the consent, of the husband or the wife, to have rape with the women in front of their husbands, when they're captured in war. And he said, well, it's not there. It doesn't say the presence of. And he says it's Muslim 8:34:32. It says that they were uncomfortable having intercourse with the polytheists, with the women, because their husbands were polytheists. And he totally, but the thing is, he totally ignores Quran, Muslim, Sahih Muslim 8:34:33, which tells you why they're able to have sex with them, because Quran 4:24 is then handed down, which says, forbidden to you, you can't have sex with married women, except what your right hand possess. In other words, you can have sex with married women. And what happened was, I typed in atas into that thing, and it took me to all these places in the hadith of how Quran 4:24 is handed down. And it's creepy. It doesn't say in the presence of their husbands, but it tells you right before in Muslim 8:34:31 that when a woman is captured in war, her marriage is abrogated. In other words, it's it's replaced by you can have sex with her, and you find out. So it is like the presence of her husband. So I found that really creepy, but I call that a black cat moment. It kind of reminds me of, also reminds me of the Battle of Midway, where they kind of get lost, and they find, oh, there's a Japanese, they caught him flat-footed and got him, But anyway, I'll continue this here. So, yeah. Piss off, homo! If I were a homo, I think I'd be a Muslim, being that Allah, well, since it uses the royal we so much, promises you 500 virginal, chaste, fresh, young, eternal boys to feed the me grapes around my eternally erect penis that is palm-tree-sized if I kill for them, Allah. I mean, how homo is that? And if I were a homo, seems I'd want to be a Muslim because patooties are up in the air 5 times a day. If I were a homo, I think I'd be mad at old Mo talking all it down from 50 prayers a day to the current 5. It's not enough patootie in the air, all your claims have been debunked. I am making a video series presenting your words to let people decide for themselves if you're telling the truth about that and not taqqiya, line for old owl. 1. You have lied about the verse. I bet you believe Hitler. I bet you believe, like Hitler, that if you say a lie long enough, it'll become the truth. True? Yeah, right? By the way, did you know Hitler and the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem were great buds? Gee, why do you think that was?
Anybody who reads 424 will be able to tell that the verse is about marriage.
If the married slave girl you can have forbidden sex with can have two husbands, then in a way I think you're right. But again, where is the consent of her original husband? You know, the guy whose townspeople you help slaughter for not wanting to totally submit to the best of deceivers, you know. Where does he come in and say, hey, that was just fine, Ahmed. You can screw my wife's brains out and do it in front of me in my presence. See Dawud 2:21-50 in that Muslim website called Sunan.com. I mean, where is his consent mentioned? I bet you don't see how this has totally. I bet you don't see how this totally makes null and void the evil of American slavery, do you?
It is your Christianity that allows raping.
Where in the Injil? Scripture, please.
Not in Islam.
You do realize that you come off as a blamer to the max when it comes to being truthful, don't you?
424 tells you to marry a slave woman.
False and a lie. For the scripture is about forbidden sex, lewd sex, as the scripture before it calls it. That'd be Quran 4:23. Forbidden and lewd sex you can't have unless it's with your married slave girl. Right hand possess. By the way, people, what's this tell you about Islam when its followers can only defend it by lying and resorting to ad hominem, you know, calling me a homo? What's wrong with this picture, folks? You know?
Pay her dowers, give her gifts, make an agreement with her to chase lust.
All that sounds sweet, but it has nothing to do with the part of Quran 4:24 that Dawud 2:21-50 and Muslim 8:34-33 shine light on, and I found at other places today, as I told you, where it's mentioned. Yeah. Hadith I wasn't familiar with, but I found them today on that Sunan.com. And anyone can see that when they go to that wonderful site you brought our attention to and type into its web browser Battle of Hunain. Actually, type in Awtas, A-W-T-A-S, and you'll find it that way. The Battle of Hunain. Then looking for, quote, in the presence of their husbands who are unbelievers, which you so blatantly lied about as you tried to get me to believe this wasn't in Dawud 2:21-50, saying instead that it was the same as Muslim 8:34-32. You liar. Well, videos will prove it. Won't they?
How is this raping, homo?
Be truthful and know that thou hast just taqqiya, lied for old owl again.
2. Hadith means incident. The same hadith is mentioned in Muslim too.
Yeah, Sahih Muslim. You are the first Muslim to say it means incident. I've heard that hadith means saying.
The translation in Dawud is better.
Aren't you supposed to lie and say it's worse?
Muslim and Dawud Arabic texts are similar, but the translations are very different.
How do you know when the Arabic of Sunan.com that says presence of their husbands for Dawud 2:21-50 can't be put through Google Translate like you lied and said it could? How? Of course, later I found out you could, but it just didn't work when I was doing it, when I was making these videos, when I was writing this.
How is this happening? I gave you the link to the Arabic text.
Boy, did you. Thank God you did.
But get somebody who speaks Arabic or use the Google Translator.
And I do. Again, I use the Arabic of that Arabic text of Sunan.com. Do you think I could put it through Google Translate? No, I could use the Arabic you sent me, but it wasn't the Arabic of Sunan Abu Dawud from that Muslim site, Sunan.com, which makes me think that the Arabic you sent me was not the Arabic of Sunan.com, which has the English saying, quote, some of the companions of the Apostle of Allah, Saws, were uncomfortable having intercourse with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who were unbelievers.
The translation says, in the presence of her husbands. The Arabic text does not say that.
How do you know when you told me you didn't know Arabic? How do you know when the Arabic of Sunnah.com can't be translated through Google? I made a video last night proving this fact. Are you going to say that I work for Google Translate and was able to freeze it during its translation phase? You will, won't you? Are you going to take back your claim that you don't know Arabic? How are you going to taqqiya and lie for old Mo? I mean old Al, the best of deceivers? How?
3. The grading of the hadith is not 100% sahih, so all your claims are null and void right on the spot anyways.
Didn't you say in this thread that the translation in Abu Dawud is better? What does that mean? Can you get your taqqiya line for Allah straight? And if you are right somehow, you need to make videos telling Muslims that, because there might be a lot of creepy evil bastards who want to rape women, married women, and Dawud 2050 could give them the license to do it. I mean, how could it not? Make those videos saying Dawud is weak hadith, even though most Sunnis believe it's authentic, okay? Are you brave enough to do that, though, and save a non-Muslim from rape?
Now piss off, homo!
Again, if I were a homo, I think I'd be a Muslim, being that they, Allah, since it uses the real plural so much, promises you 500 virginal, chaste, fresh, young, eternal boys to
feed me grapes
around my eternally erect penis that is paltry-sized if I kill for them. Allah. I mean, how homo is that? And if I were homo, seems I'd want to be a Muslim because patooties are up in the air 5 times a day. You know, if I were homo, I think I'd be mad at old Al for talking old Olive down from 50 prayers a day to the current 5. It's not enough patoot in the air, huh? Right? By the way, when a Muslim accuses someone of being a homo to try to hurt and discredit them, well, isn't that proof that Muslims aren't tolerant of gays? What's it tell you about Islam? Liberals.
Ha ha ha! The liar homo is offended.
What's it say for Islam when it can only be defended through lies and ad hominem, personal attack?
Your biggest claim was Islam allows raping.
Yeah, with Dawud 20 and 50.
I've explained for 24 to you.
What's it say for Islam when it can only be defended through lies and ad hominem?
It allows marriage, not raping.
What's it say for Islam when it can only be defended through lies?
And Abu Dawud hadith you were using to back up your claims is not 100% sahih, and the English translation is wrong.
What's it say for Islam when it can only be defended through lies? I think I'll stop it here.